Hi, welcome to Postgresql training. Today I'm going to teach you how to install Postgres 10 using the graphical installer. So you can download your graphical installer from the Enterprise DB site. So when you download the graphical installer from Enterprise DB site, you will be getting one executable file in the form of exe. So we are going to double click on this executable. The first screen which it is going to launch is the welcome screen. From the you can see it has mentioned EDB Postgres, but this is the free version from EDB Postgres, which we can use for the GUI installation. Now, if you click on the next button, the first question it asks you is your installation directory. Now, by default, if you don't change it, it gets installed in your program files. Okay, but by default, don't install it in program files. According to your company standards, install in your default company standard location. Click on next. Okay, so basically I have changed the location, the installation directory. I have put it in d colon postgres 10.4. Click on next button. The second component it asks you what all you want to install. Okay, by default Postgres server is required. pgadmin 4 is the graphical GUI interface for connecting to the cluster and doing your administration work. So we will be talking more about pgadmin in later slides. Stack builder is for downloading additional components. Okay, then you have some command line utilities like PSQL, which you will require if you want to do the command based administration. Click on the next button. Now remember, the first two questions are enough for the installation. The questions which are going to come after this slide is basically it creates one default cluster for you. Now if you are doing the installation for the first time, just ignore it, click next and go. Okay, but remember it is creating a default cluster in your Postgres home itself. Okay, and the name of the cluster is recorded as data, but you can change the location of this cluster also. But if you are new to Postgres and if you are doing the installation for the first time, ignore this question, just keep it as it is. When you know more about clusters, how to start stop clusters, you will understand better. Click on the next button. This password which is it is asking is the super user password for the default cluster which it is creating. Okay, so please provide the password. Click on next button. And the default port on which the cluster will be running. By default, every cluster will be running on a unique port number, and the default port number for cluster is 5432 in Postgres. So click on next. And what is the default character set for the Postgres? You can leave it as default locale, then it will pick up from your OS whatever character set is the OS belongs to. Okay, else if you want any special character set like French character support or Japanese, you can just drop down this and select the respective character set which you want in the cluster support. Then click on next. So your installation summary will be shown. Okay, what all will be installed, where it will be installed. Click on the next button. So your installation setup is ready. Now the installation will begin if you click on the next button. So the installation will progress. If it is 9.6 or 10, it takes around 10 minutes for your installation to complete. If it is earlier version like 9.5, it hardly takes 5 minutes for your installation to complete. So once your installation is done, it shows you the option to launch the stack builder also, but you need not install any additional tools now. You can uncheck this button. You can uncheck this button and click on the finish button. That will complete your installation. Okay. So now let's look at the live demo of how to install the Postgres software. So I have downloaded the Postgres software, Postgres 10.4 from the Enterprise DB site. Okay, please look at my previous downloading Postgres software if you want to see how to download the software. Okay, I have downloaded the executable file. I'm going to double click on this. So remember, if you're doing your installation in Windows, you need to have the administration privilege for the user who is doing the installation, else installation will not proceed. So basically it is loading the package C++, but wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so this is your welcome screen. Click on the next button. So by default, you can see it is showing C colon program files PostgreSQL 10. Change the directory. Okay, I'm changing it to my D drive. D drive I want to install in Postgres. I've already created the directories 10.4. Okay, so this is the location where my Postgres will be installed. Click on next. These are the components which will be installed. Okay, so I'm clicking on next button. Then these are the questions which are going to come now are related to a default cluster which is being created with the installation. If you are doing a RPM or any other installation, this will not be done. Okay, but in Windows we won't be doing the RPM installation. Only we have option to GUI installation. So I'm going to just put it in the default location and continue. The Postgres, the password for the default cluster, super user Postgres in the default cluster. What is the port number? 5432. What is the default character set? Okay, now if I want any support for any other language, I can pick it up. Okay, else I can leave it as default local. Okay, it will basically pick up the operating system character set. Let me click on next. So this is a summary of the installation. If you click on next button, the setup is ready for installation. And now you can click on next to start your installation. It will take typically 10 minutes for your installation to complete. So in the meantime, we can go and look at our D drive whether the installation is completing. So 10.4, you can see the files have come in. Okay, bin directory which will have all the executables for the Postgres. So you can see the installation is progressing. So it takes around 5 to 10 minutes to complete the installation. Okay, so the installation is progressing. Okay, so it is coming to an end. So it's almost done. So you can see additional some of the files which have come in after the installation. So you should get an uninstaller also. Okay, which will help you in uninstalling the software if you require to uninstall it. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, it is creating a default database cluster also. So basically it's initializing the default database cluster. So if you install using the EDB software, it will create a default cluster for you. If you don't require that cluster, just remove the cluster folder. So this is the data folder, which is the cluster folder. You can remove that cluster folder and stop the cluster. So it's basically creating all the shortcut. You can see it has created the uninstaller. So you can see if you want to uninstall Postgres software, you will be using the executable uninstall postgres.exe. Now the installation is complete. Okay, you have your, if you want, you can launch the stack builder if you want to download additional tools or drivers required, but currently we don't require, so please uncheck it. So I have unchecked it and click on the finish button. Now this completes your installation. So once your installation is done, you can see you have the following folders and files in your folder. So the important one is the bin folder, which has all your executables for your administration work, like your initdb for creating cluster, pgctl for starting stopping cluster. All the executables required for your administration work will be there in your bin directory. Okay, so this is basically your installation of PostgreSQL 10. Thanks for watching the video.